I got one. Thank you, Don. Good morning. The clock says that it is 11 o'clock, and that meant I had to stop chatting. So, and it's so good to see you guys. I had a drive down this morning from you. You know, I live up in Happy Valley up by Portland, and oh my gosh, it was pouring rain. Pouring rain, one of those where you can't see in front of you. Yeah. So I'm like, ah. So it is so good to be here in this wonderful, calm and beautiful environment. So, all right. Announcements this morning. Is there anyone here for the first time and I recognize you all? So I do not think so. And yeah, let's see what's on the back of your program with all the announcements. And next week is Soup for the Soul. And every month I keep thinking I'm going to bring some soap, and maybe I will actually this month. But you're all welcome to bring your favorite soup to share as a wonderful fundraiser for the Center for Spiritual Living. And yeah, let's have some coffee and treats together after the service, please, and just get a chance to talk. And you guys, I just want to say one more thing because the announcements are on the back of the program. And you can read them, but the one thing I really want to mention is prayer. And I want to talk about that whenever I get a chance to, whenever I schedule myself to speak here. Because there is a law in the way it works, and you guys, it really works when we get a deep understanding of it and use it. And our prayer team here really does understand that. So if there's something in your life you want us to pray on, there's a form in the front of you, and it can go in the library, or it can go in the offertory basket. But please take advantage of that, because I know all of us have things going on in our life. All right, and so our wonderful speaker this morning is our beloved Don Kerr, and our music RA. So good to see you this morning. Yeah, so let us begin with some music.
If you can and are able, will you please stand and sing with me? Good morning. The first song is In This Very Room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through our every fear. Thank you. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve, and remember? To love, serve, and remember again. To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember. To love, serve, and remember.
Good morning, friends. Now is the time to take a deep breath and go within. Close your eyes if you wish. There is only one power, one love, one life, and that life is my life now. And what I know to be true for myself, I know to be true for everyone, everywhere. A transcendent life means living your purpose on purpose, tapping into what causes you to embrace yourself. The deeper we dive into who we truly are, the higher we fly in serving humanity, ourselves, and the one. I gratefully and joyously live my life on purpose. My purpose lights my way with ease and grace. I know today during Reverend Don's talk, we will be blessed to hear what we need to hear at this time. And Ari's music will fill our hearts and souls and lift us to new heights. My heart is full of gratitude and love of the one who makes all things clear. I release my word to the law, knowing it is done. And if any of the above resonates with you, please say with me, and so it is. Now, if you open your program and see the highlighted blue area, there's an affirmation, and please say it with me. Now I shift my focus to my divine purpose and listen for the voice of God. It speaks to me in a song, in a message, and these quiet moments are simply my intuition. And so it is.
Good morning. Your reason and your passion are the rudder and the sails of your seafaring soul. Khalil Gibran. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, says, the divine spirit always knows what to do and how to do it. So I am never without guidance in the successful achievement of my good desires. My every thought, act, purpose is guided by this wisdom. Today's reading comes from the Centers for Spiritual Living Science of Mind magazine. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? We have all been rehearsing the answer to that question since we were young, and even now we can feel pressured by it, assuming the answer should be clear. Perhaps you ask the same questions I ask myself. Is our purpose a career, a calling, or a way of living? Do we have a purpose? Do we have one purpose, or do we have many? Does our purpose change throughout our life? Is there both a personal purpose and a universal purpose? After graduating from nursing school, I began performing as a jazz pianist in nightclubs, and 20 years went by. Since then, I wandered through a menagerie of other careers, following exactly where my heart led me. I have never regretted it. I have never regretted one moment of it. Every day held meaningful and joyful moments. We are not our titles, our jobs, our salaries. We are so much more than that. We are infinite possibility. When we follow the authentic yearnings of the heart, what Ernest Holmes calls the divine urge, we can't miss our purpose. When a door closes, another door is meant to open. Believe, pray, pay attention. Strive to be the absolute best version of yourself, and life will unfold as it should. A future goal is not your life. The path is your life. What you do today is your life. Create a life that brings you moments of meaning and joy, and the path will lead you to exactly where you are meant to be every single time. And as always we have at Woodland Chapel, we have a bonus affirmation. I'll have you repeat after me. As I follow the authentic yearnings of my heart, I find the way home to my true path and true purpose. Thank you.
Hello again. The first song that Spirit decided that I should play this week is a song by Ricky Byers called Om Shanti. And for those of you who don't know what Om Shanti translates into, Om is the spirit, is the sound of the universe. So within you, without you, all around you, and Shanti means peace. So this song is Peace Be With You. And please sing along if you feel so called. Let there be peace in my mind. Let there be peace in the earth. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. When there is peace in my mind, there will be peace in the earth. Thank you.
That's how I learned to meditate. It was the Om. It was my first lesson, and it turned out to be just the way I love to meditate. Thank you. That was wonderful. Can you sing it again? Someday? Okay, good. While the mystery for me continues, I looked under the windshield of my car, and I had this stuck there. Do you remember one time there was something in my mailbox, and I opened it up, and someone said they would love to remain just unknown, but they wanted to say how well they liked our services, and they offered me jokes to tell. You remember that? Dear Reverend Don, I'm sorry I cannot attend church services, but I love to watch online. Oh, that's it, okay. Just keep thinking of me as a loyal supporter of Woodland Chapel, even though I like to remain incognito. Incognito, okay. P.S. I offer another joke if you wish to read it. I'm going to do that. Got a few words of wisdom, as I like to say about this joke. That's when I read that. It's a short, hopefully enjoyable short joke. I copied it so I could read it without reading the handwriting there. It's about a young priest. He was nervous about hearing confessions. And so he asks an older priest to sit in on his sessions. And afterwards, the old priest has a few suggestions. He says, cross your arms over your chest and rub your chin with one hand. The young priest tries it. Now, say things like, I see, yes, I understand. And how did you feel about that? The new priest repeats the phrases. The old priest smiles and says, now, don't you feel that's a little better than slapping your knee and saying, no way, what happened next? Thank you. I'll take all the jokes I can get. Because I thought of winding it away from that, but anyhow, okay. So last week, I was pursuing some of the many wisdom quotes that I ran across. They got me all interested after Reverend Moore's message about what's the point anyway. And many of these wisdom quotes had several points to make about life and that. But I ran across William James on this one, a little different. He said, and I really like this, he says, I will call this higher part of the universe by the name of God. Now, we and God have business with each other. And in opening ourselves to God's influence, our deepest purpose shall be fulfilled. Now, that says a lot. I like that. So today we're going to continue this business with God and the universe, exploring purpose. Are we going to do that? Yeah, I think we'll continue. I've been reading in this book, and I just almost get sidetracked with all the good stuff in here. But this topic today was titled A Purpose. I don't know if it's that. Yeah, it is. A purpose that surpasses all. All what? All other purposes? I had to really dig in and figure out where we're going with this thing. So today we continue this idea. Now, haven't we heard an exclamation? I have many times, well, more than one time anyhow, that asks a question that says, what's the purpose of this anyhow? What are we doing? Did you do that on purpose? The purpose keeps coming out. In fact, the entire month of September is dedicated to this little magazine titled Transcendent Purpose. It's good stuff. If you haven't read anything out of there yet, get it, read it, you'll love it. It's title of Transcendent Purpose really caught my eye. We'll take a look at that. So we have this spiritual word, this powerful spiritual word that we call transcendent. Okay? It reminds me of years ago when there was a form of meditational, there was a movement in meditation by the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Do you remember him? Transcendental meditation. I went all the way to Seattle on a business trip, kind of worked it in, but I spent time at a seminar up there learning what they're talking about. See, it's a form of meditational move. You have a secret word. That's how it turns out. It's presented as a way of transcending our moments through a special meditative practice using a powerful spiritual word. And it's supposed to have been assigned to you by a meditation master. And my meditation master gave me this word. You know, I've basically forgot what the word is. I tried it. I used it really for several months before I just let it drop away and I returned to my own meditative practice. What I learned, though, from that was that there's really no wrong way, no right way, no just one way to practice meditation. It's a very personal thing. I discovered meditation was very, very intimate. One of the most intimate things I think I practice. So I look back upon it basically as one of the many spiritual stepping stones that I've used to walk my journey to discover more and more the divinity in my human experiences on this planet. Being an expression of God, I like to talk it sometimes. I walk in the morning and I talk, I'm an expression of God walking on this planet. The trans part of the word transcendent, though, is kind of interesting. It's of, maybe you know this, Latin origin. It means across, beyond, or through. And it indicates a movement, like a change of position on the side of something, outside, the other side, is seen in words like transcend, to go beyond, or transmit, descend across. The trans part is really the key word to all of these. Another word, trans, would be like transparent, to see through. We can take the word transgender to hold a gender identity that differs from the sex that we were assigned at birth. So if we transcend into a full transcendency, we find ourselves beyond the old, beyond the usually rising above to maybe a new level, a new state of being, and we can embrace it. We find out we reach something that's called transformation. Real powerful spiritual word. The trans part. Usually, most always we're engaged with something active, or we have this rich intention for a more beneficial purpose that serves us more. So there's that word purpose. That's another word that falls in place here. So we can ask the question, does everything have purpose? The answer, I think, should be yes. Yeah, absolutely. All life has purpose, although it may not seem obvious to us at the time we're swimming in deep, challenging, murky, muddy waters. But I'm happy to say that when we hold this science of mind point of view, there is a science of mind point of view in all this, we begin to know in our very self a sense that we are divine beings. And we begin to recognize that we're here to serve a high purpose in life. High purpose. More than to just exist as some kind of an expression of life, although we are an expression of life. We're here on purpose, for a purpose that continues to serve in some way that could be called transcending most of what we call mundane or that we let fall away. It's more than just to be alive for maybe a century. Some of us here are going to live to be a century. More than just to be alive for that and then evaporate into nothing or become a urn of dust, bones. So the questions surrounding us, I think, when we move through this thing that we call our human experience, we can ask this: how do we know, how do you recognize this higher purpose, if there is such a thing? This purpose that we may abide in this topic that we're calling right now, the purpose that surpasses all. Surpasses all. I tried to figure out what that all was talking about. See, all the many purposes that may spring up as we seek to get a handle on the theme of transcendent purpose that's titled in the Science of Mind magazine. That little Wisdom Rich, that's a way I want to call it, Wisdom Rich magazine that Catherine just read out of just now, today, it points out that we aren't our jobs, we aren't our titles, and we aren't our salaries, all that stuff that we wanted and we found or we didn't find and we still lack. In fact, we're a whole lot more than that. There's a word that I saw that was used one time, says that we are VIPs. Vital, infinite possibility. A VIP. Sounds good. And in this magazine, so you can hear me still, Eugene Holden is one of the writers. And I'm going to quote something out of that. He writes something that really I thought was pretty good. He said, as a powerful, individualized expression of the one, you are God in action. Yeah, doesn't that sound good? You may ask why, though. Why did the universe wish to express itself as me or as you? What's the purpose? We found the point last week, but what's the purpose? Now, he goes on to say, this, my friends, is the central question, and he urges us to ask this. Always ask, why? What is my purpose for being here? Now, there's a quote. You've probably heard this quote before. It says, the two most important days in your life, the two most important days, the day you were born and the day you figure out why. Yeah, why am I here? The song asks that. Why have I been given birth? Why have I come to earth? Why aren't I on some other planet? All these things can rush through our minds, but the answer does contain the purpose that surpasses all other purposes in and of our life. It really does. There is a purpose, a major purpose. If you find it, let me know. I don't know the major purpose. I just know what's right for me. You see, to explore and answer that question, I personally think we can begin with the one based upon our awakening, not becoming aware of anything, but awakening to our desires. Not becoming aware of what we want, really want, because we ask ourselves the question all the time, what do I really want out of this? I'm always wanting. But here comes the part of the real truth. The real truth is we're not just beings in form, having our human experiences that crave and hunger for fulfillment, let's call it that, to fill our needs and wanting to be and longing for this and wanting that, to satisfy our longing and our wanting. No. We got to do some excavating to find some truth for ourselves, to get past the world's influences of feeding us our wants to get out or get something. We find that wanting really is our recognition of not having. Wanting is our sense of lack, needing to fill an emptiness. A lot of things like that. While desire, on the other hand, desire is our blessed state of readiness to receive. I desire a relationship with you. Oh, I'm ready for that. Here's the reality and the truth about that kind of life. So much of the time, we first get into a new thought here. And we're going to do something really great. We jump into a spiritual new path, believing that we deserve to get what we want. By dingies, we deserve to get what we want. We may believe that life owes us everything and only good, and it's ours for the taking. So we speak our word, we do our treatment, we do our prayer, we lay out our claim. Boy, have I done that. And the truth is, life does provide everything we need to survive with and to thrive with. But the truth is, the bingo part, the thriving, is our responsibility. It's based upon what we do, where we come down on this. Life does provide everything we need to survive and thrive, but the power lies in desire, not the wanting. The willing heart, desire, the point that Reverend Moore made last week about lying within us is that great power. It's within. It's not just out there somewhere. We say sometimes there's a power greater than we are and we can use it. But wait a minute. Where does that really place us? The willing heart is the receiving heart, always. The willing heart, well, who was it that said prayer? If the only prayer that we made was to say thank you, was that Eckhart, Meister Eckhart? Yes, okay. If the only prayer we ever utter is to say thank you, that is enough. Why would that be enough? Because thank you indicates receiving. Ask and you shall receive, but before you even ask. There's something in here that I don't get at first glance, but I feel it coming on. How do I explain it? Desire kind of sets it all in motion. It has done for me. It all starts with desire, the sire. Desire contains the great purpose of unifying with allness and godness, so that literally enfolds us and holds us so near and so dear and full of God love, and we call it constant grace. We have been granted constant grace. What a gift. We affirm at the end of our service, every service here in this very room, the love of God enfolds us. The love of God enfolds us. The love of God is so rich with God granting constant grace, transcends all the appearances of any obstacles that we might encounter in our human conditions. That's something that you don't know about, you don't believe in, unless you experience it. So really the truth for me is that from our earliest days, when you think about this, we kind of had to lean into our innate desire that we were born with, our divine desire. One of those, think about it, first we crawled, didn't we? What was that all about? It engages the desire we had to walk and then to talk, and expressing our desire to connect with and communicate with and join with others, to love and to expand our desire to be more, to just as the universe is constantly on the move, expanding. We're energetically, when we think about it, unified with expanding with more. Always. Even though we say we're born enough. We have a song we love to sing here sometimes. I love myself the way I am. Don't have to do anything else. I'm complete and whole. Well, okay. But where does this thing, what are we desiring here? We then desire to share, don't we? And care and love and serve. And remember more and more why we might have taken birth. We desire to be able to express and share with others our full expression of the divine, the oneness, the completeness. We have this in us. This is known as our great unfolding. Yeah, laying it out, letting it move. Your and my transcendent purpose, our transcendent purpose, which is the purpose that surpasses all other purposes, our transcendent purpose is the soul's compass. The soul needs a compass. It comes in rich, and then where's it going? What's it going to do? It's up to us. The thriving and so on is up to us. Holding steady. You see, this guy Eugene Holden, I really like that. I want to quote him some more. He claims that our transcendent purpose is an internal, unshakable sense of direction that reaches beyond the ego. That reaches beyond the ego. How can that be? Reaches beyond achievements. He says it reaches beyond personal gratification. And he calls it a sacred thread woven through the tapestry of your existence. Dr. Holmes saw that thread, didn't he? If you've ever read some of Dr. Holmes' background, he spoke of it as he discovered the thread of unity and wholeness and oneness that runs through all the spiritual practices all on those paths to the mountaintop. Why do we have so many religions? Yeah, we're out there desiring to find why and how and what and God. You know, I think that's what spiritual practices are all about. We don't doubt that. We just need to embrace spiritual practices, not just to be recognized, but to be realized. We have to realize what this is all about, not just recognize it and mentally accept it. We have to embody whatever it is. If we can get our ego out of the way, now, not get lost in self-importance. Now, that's tough to do, but rather let our sweetness of soul, as I heard it spoken of one time, stretch and find its way in our living and in our loving and the doing and the being that we're involved with, being the purposeful living expression of divine purpose that has called us into being alive right now at this time. You know, I'm going to start wrapping up here on something. If we recognize that we're here to serve a high purpose in life, if we recognize that, then we can really start on our road to being humble and humbly find and grow into what is acceptable for our greatness. Our greatness is our humbleness. A greatness acquired through always seeking and entering this state of allowing what we think is truth. The truth that sets us free. You know, I've had my share of sacred moments, encounters, you might say. In fact, I want to tell you about one that happened just last Friday, day before yesterday. It's a true story. Phyllis and I, go down out south by a place near Trader Joe's where she has her hair shampooed. And you probably know Trader Joe's. If you've ever been to Trader Joe's, you always go back. And most of you know the journey that Phyllis and I are navigating as we daily meet the challenges of our situation. I tell you, some days are diamonds. Oh God, are they ever? Some days are stones. And that day, as we were in the food-lined aisles of Trader Joe's, I was really hurrying, in a hurry, under stress to stock up, because I could feel an anxiety building up with Phyllis. She was tired. We had her hair shampooed, and so at the moment she was not in a Diamond Day mood. I was feeling the pressure of her unsettledness. So when suddenly I heard a familiar voice close to us speak, and it said, "Blessings on this day. I'm so happy to see you and Jerry Braza." Pushing his cart near ours, come pushing up right up against me, smiling, engaging. He was just oozing with friendliness and love. And I reached out to shake his hand, and he put his arm around me. We both simultaneously glanced over at Phyllis, and she had a puzzled look on her face. She, of course, didn't recognize him, even though we'd seen him before. Smiling, he asked, "What is your name?" to Phyllis. She said, "What are you asking me?" He said, "What is your name?" And she says, "Phyllis." And he said, "Phyllis." And then she said, "This is my husband." And Jerry just immediately offered his hand, and he said, "Oh, I know your husband. We're brothers in spirit, and I'm so glad to meet you. You are beautiful." And I noticed the rush of energy that came over Phyllis's face. Her eyes widened, and she repeated back to Jerry, "Me, I'm beautiful?" "Yes, you're beautiful. I know Don, your husband Don. We're old friends from Woodland Chapel." And Phyllis, on her own volition, reached out, took Jerry's hand in both of her hands, and she said, "I'm happy to meet you. Thank you." And I could see they actually locked eyes. Jerry has that way. And as we moved on and drove home, 4 times on the way home, Phyllis pointed to a small child on the street or a tree or a building, and she said, "Look, look. Isn't that beautiful?" So, shock-ups or wake-up calls, whatever you want to call these things, I've needed to stay centered, and as I continue in this amazing philosophy that's found here, I find these flashes of inward sight that confirm for me, sometimes small nudges, sometimes full-blown revelations, those aha moments, but they're all worth it. They're all worth it. If someone says, "What's the purpose?" You don't have to know the purpose. You just have to live in the experience. Just live in the moment. Live in the experience. It means everything to me. I'm so happy that we're alive today on this planet. You know, I have people, I have relatives who call me on the phone and they want to talk about the politics of life and so on. I just have to tell them that I'm not that interested in doing that right now. Call me later, because I have something to do. And if I only knew the right way to reach out and touch their hearts, and let them know how I really feel about how I love them no matter what, and yet they ask me to jump through certain hoops in order for them to accept me. I began that journey long ago when I left my family's faith, born again, going to hell because you're going down a bad road. Well, that's not true. Nothing's true like that. There's nothing in this world that takes anyone to hell, because hell doesn't exist, right? Hell only exists within the bounds of what humans decide that is wrong. What's wrong? There's nothing wrong. I'm going to shut up. Okay. Thank you. Let's have some more music. What do you say, Ari? Thank you. Health, wealth, and happiness.
That was quite an ending there, roped on.
We got some music to back that up.
Brought me from tears to laughing. Oh my, that really touched me, that story. Wow. Okay, this song surprised me this week. I made this choice to sing it, and I don't know, I've shared a little bit, I really listen to Spirit when I find out what the message is, and I wait to see what songs pop into my head. This song I wrote a few years ago. It's called Summer is Ending, and it is a song that is very near and dear to my heart, and as I was sharing earlier, I grieve summer every year, and this is a song that really wanted to be played today, and it's transcending the purpose. I'm just leaning into it, so I hope you enjoy it. Summer is ending, air is colder, the gardens and release. To cut back and release. Summer is ending, air is colder. What's dying back is ready to be done. Summer is ending, air is cold. That inner warmth is burning once again. Yes, it's been growing all season through the days of the heat. It's ready for the harvest to cut back and release. To cut back and release. Can I hear it in the wind, calling out to me by name? Yes, I can feel it brush my face, and I know I don't have to be afraid. 'Cause I've been growing all season through the days of the heat. I'm ready for the harvest to cut back and release. To cut back and release. And with summer ending and air getting cold, it's time for me to let go. Thank you.
Yeah. Ari and Don, thank you. What a blessing today. I wish everyone could be here. I wish everyone could know and experience words of wisdom, a lifelong wisdom. And wow, thank you so much. And Ari, the beauty you add to our hearts. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciate it, both of you. And I know this will go out in the ethers, and those who need to hear this will hear it. All right, so in this part of our service, we welcome you to contribute to the welfare of the center, to keep the lights on and the heat on and the cold on, whichever is appropriate. And yeah, so let us say together our offertory of affirmation. And we say a lot of affirmations, and I know we get used to affirmations, and we say them very quickly. But let's just be aware of the words that we say, because they are so powerful. And they're meant to, as Don used the word transform our understanding, transform our consciousness, knowing that consciousness is cause. So let us say this together. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
I am grateful. I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful.
grateful for this. And see, when we put something in this offertory basket, it's a symbol, and symbols matter. If you just have $1, it's important to put it in there because it says to the infinite, it says to the law that I am part of the flow. I am part of the flow. When I am willing to release something, I am part of the flow. And so it's really important in so many ways, not just keeping the light on, but acknowledging and opening up our part of this divine flow, that it flows in and through us. And so, regardless of the amount, be part of the flow. And I just want to give thanks to each one of us here that is part of the flow, because as more of us wake up to the realization that there is one power and one presence, and that power and presence is in and through all life and in and through us. And as we embrace it and allow it to flow through us, that is the way of transformation of our own lives and the lives on the planet. That is the way it is done. So I give thanks for each one of us here that embraces this consciousness, uplifts, changes our own lives, transforms, and is an element of transformation on this planet. And I just say thank you, God, and so it is. And so let us stand together and say the prayer of protection. So the light of God, if you want to use a different word, spirit, source, infinite, whatever, it's just a word. It means whatever we want it to mean. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God washes over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so let us join hands and affirm peace.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. Who take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and now it begins with me.
Yeah, we can do that.
One more hug. Hey, girl.